Hi, my name is Harvey James G. Castillo, and I am the outgoing president of the UST Literary Society for its 33rd year. Basically, the main duties and jobs, the main responsibilities of being a president include, it comes from the root word itself, presiding. It means you preside over the meetings and you let the whole executive board, that means the team of the officers that you have, do the job. So that does not entail naman na you do the job, you do all the job by yourself. It means you have a team with you, you have executive coordinators and assistants to do all the job. The duties of the president mainly constitute the spearheading of projects and the likes, and also it's like sailing a ship. You're the one who sails the ship with all your executive board there to help you, guide you through the ways. Making up decisions is a staple when it comes to being a president or leading an organization for that matter. Even the smallest decisions, you do not know if there are big repercussions in answering them. There is such a thing as a butterfly effect, wherein the fluttering of the wings of a butterfly somewhere in the Pacific could cause changes in the movements of a typhoon. So, with this in regard, as a president, you should always look into even the smallest and even the most minute of decisions, because those have big effects. So decisions are a staple, and when it comes to being student leaders, even if you are not the president, you should be used to making decisions. When starting the organization, perhaps the most important thing is the vision, because the vision is the goal that all of us want to attain. So for our part, for the UST Literary Society, the vision that I implanted among my executive board members and corollary among the members itself, among the 230 strong members, is the vision of a more critical community, of a more smart and aware community. Because AB is a very diverse group of people, and each program has their own identities for that matter. And one of the identities that we are proud of in literature is that we read a lot, we are critical and open-minded, and we go against the flow, we go against the normative opinions of the people. So our vision for this 33rd year is to sharpen the critical thinking skills of our constituents. So we provided projects that enhance their critical thinking abilities, and so far, based on their consensus, we can say that we have succeeded in attaining that vision. So vision is the most important part. Technically speaking, we have a public relations officer, and that public relations officer is connected to the representatives in each block. So basically, this is like a microcosm of Philippine society, wherein you have the secretary for the president's office, and then that secretary disseminates information to the representatives in such regions. So that is how we disseminate information, basically. And also, we want the society to be as immersive as possible. That means eliminating distances, eliminating the intimidation of powers. So immersion process takes into account as well, in as much as there are proper disseminations of information. In the context of UST, perhaps the most pressing challenge include basically connecting to the larger part of society. Because as I have observed during my term, Tomasian student leaders have this, I'm not generalizing, but this is symptomatic of the condition of the Tomasian community per se, because of the system and the like. One of the most pressing challenges among student leaders is connecting to the larger society around us, meaning being aware of the material conditions, not only of our privileged class, privileged group of students, aggregates of students working here, but of the larger society who live in dire conditions, who live in bare existences. So that is a pressing matter altogether. We need to be aware of our material and social conditions. That's it. despite the setbacks, which there are many during the term, during the 1 year, of course, there will be many obstacles along the way. The main motivations and inspirations remaining at large unto us, of course, are the visions. We want to serve the community. We want each member of the literary society to be progressive members of society. And by progressive, we are not merely referring to that buzzword that most student leaders say or enunciate. By progressive, we want them to be critically aware, to be theoretically aware, to be pragmatically aware of their surroundings and how they could contribute to the development, to the betterment of that surrounding. So, when it comes to inspiration, motivation, inspiration kasi we have this tendency to say na, oh my God, I will work when I am inspired. Pero dapat inspiration is performative, is normative, it comes from within. Inspiration is not only, hindi na siya dispensable lang na kung kailan matipuhan tsaka darating. Inspiration should be a responsibility. Basically, every leader should have a sense of their constituents' conditions. Kasi how could you serve your constituents if you do not know the problems that they are facing in their everyday? So for instance, in Litsoc, we try as much as possible to understand the ground root problems of our constituents in such a way we could give them solutions that they need, not just solutions that we think that they would need. So in this regard, in as much as it is impossible din naman kasi for people in positions of power to understand really experiences of the constituents below them, because such experiences are incommunicable. Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga malilipat yung nararamdaman nila. As much as possible, leaders should have an impression on the situation at hand. I think one of the most important characteristics student leaders should have in general is having a voice. In as much as one has a vision, one should have a voice in order to communicate that vision properly, in order to bring the constituents into attaining that vision. When we say a voice, in as much as there are a heteroglossia, plurality of voices around us, and such voices we could say are voices that are advocates of post-truth. Like for instance, in our generation, Mocha Uson, Tito Soto and the like, student leaders should have voices of their own, meaning student leaders should not be afraid of going against the normative flows of opinions. They should not just answer questions within an immediate span of time, meaning they should give each question at hand sufficient thinking time to process. So student leaders should have voices of their own. Student leaders should not be afraid of administrations, such as for instance, in the context of UST, student leaders they want to really serve their constituents, they should not be afraid of going against the administration, because in the first place, they are autonomous governing body wanting to protect the welfare of the students. So they should have a voice, and their voice should be as strong and as loud as the constituents that